Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you're here for the first time, thank you for choosing to tune in. So, there has been a story that has been in the press for most of the day, and I wanted to chime in on it because I found it quite interesting and I would love to know your thoughts. So as we know, there was a story reported whereby King Charles, for his 75th birthday, was due to get a call from the Duke of Sussex. Now, a lot of you voiced your opinion on this. Even in the last video, we had a poll running on whether or not many of you thought he would call. And to my surprise, a couple of you in the comments said that even if Prince Harry would not be there in person, that some of you said he might not call, but some of you did say that Prince Harry is someone who is respectful. And in the same way that he went to the coronation, he did not have to, but he went. He would have found a way to honor his dad, King Charles, and call in and, wish him a happy 75th. So we have this story and a counter story to it. So let's go straight into this. So the first story is here from the Telegraph, who broke this report. Seems to be on the royal beat quite a bit. So the story goes, the Telegraph reports that a lengthy conversation between Prince Harry and King Charles had taken place for his birthday. And they talked about it being an olive branch, in quotes. Also, it marked a turning point, in quotes, in their relationship. King Charles and Prince Harry would speak again next week after this phone call for his 75th birthday. It went on to say that father and son enjoyed a warm conversation on Tuesday after the Duke of Sussex called his father to wish him a happy birthday. After a lengthy spell during which the two have barely spoken, the chat marked a notable shift in tone. King Charles also spoke on the phone with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and the Telegraph also reports that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet are understood to have recorded a video of themselves singing happy birthday to their grandfather, who they have only met on a handful of occasions, which would have delighted him, in quotes. The fact that both sides have signaled a desire to bury the hatchet and start to mend their relationship was hailed as a positive sign that was celebrated on both sides of the Atlantic, the article went on to say. Telegraph went on to elaborate more on King Charles's 75th birthday. They said that he was joined by close friends for a birthday dinner at Clarence House on Tuesday night, and he would have undoubtedly felt a weight lifted from his shoulders. So they also pivot to the Crown series, where they say that the show might have a, quote, devastating aftermath after the interview that the then Princess of Wales held, where she laid bare a lot of revelations. So why they go there, I'm not sure. So also they go back to Prince Harry, saying that the Duke of Sussex made clear in various interviews surrounding the publication of his memoir, Spare, in January, that he wanted to reconcile with his father. And I'll interject here and say, yes, Prince Harry did say that when he was asked about his relationship with King Charles and his family. And he did say that, of course, he wants there to be a relationship with them, but he would have liked an apology from his family, insisting that the ball was in their court, in quotes. So this article also goes on to talk about Prince Harry's relationship with King Charles, how he used to call him lovingly Pa, in quotes, and he said in that television interview that he would always love him. However, he insisted, as I said before, that he wants an apology from his family. Now, a couple of you out there who I know, some of you watch these videos who may not support the Sussexes, and you might be wondering, an apology for what? Of course, Prince Harry has famously talked about the relationship between the press and the palace and the invisible contract, in quotes, where he said that stories were leaked on certain members to cover for others. And, he felt that that had happened to him. And if you're gonna be truly honest, I think that we have had this documented in the past where some members of that family have been put out there for PR for other members of that family. I will bring you all back to this instance where it was spoken about by some royal commentators then that the meeting between Camilla then, as they were trying to revitalize her public image, they did manage to put out there in the press that William had met with her, and somehow all that information was out there in the press. And that was a way of kind of giving her a more acceptable image, that she had been accepted by the children. We all know that William and Harry at that time, as they were younger, when they caught on to this, that they did not like that. And there was a moment where they split off from the control of, their father at the time being over them. And they found a way to deal with the press on their own without that oversight. So, you can't have one without the other, right? So we've heard it before in the past from other royal commentators who have no dog in that fight. They just wanted to lay it out there. And we've heard it from them time and time again. Dan Wooten, who himself said that members of the royal family and staff of the royal family are often leaking on the Sussexes. He said that straight from the horse's mouth. So Harry said he wanted an apology. So that's what he wants an apology for. And I know that in the press that there's been this framing that when Harry came out with his book, when they had the documentary, that it was an attack on the Queen's legacy, in quotes. But no, we have to remember this couple were under such an onslaught that they had to speak up for themselves. So you can't just expect them to just take it all lying down. They had to put up a fight because they knew about the men in grey. Princess Diana herself spoke about the men in grey. So there's that whole palace politics that is out there. And if you want to be honest with yourselves, you know that there is all of that politicking behind the scenes, people trying to prop up their offices and those who they work for, and sometimes at the expense of others. You can't deny one end of it and try and make Harry and Meghan out to just be lying across the board. So that's what he wants an apology for. So back to the article, they say that his position on that is thought to have, quote, baffled and angered senior members of the royal family in equal measure, many of whom felt deeply betrayed by personal revelations that he made. And the article says that Harry had hoped that by laying all of his cards on the table and laying bare his pain, he might jolt his family into contacting him and apologizing for the perceived neglect, in quotes, according to this article. But an apology never came, they say, and the emotional distance between Charles and Harry is said to have caused King Charles great pain, in quotes, who has never relished confrontation, and he chose to park the issue while he concentrated on matters of state. And the article says that in an apparent retaliation, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were asked to, quote, vacate their UK home, Frogmore Cottage, just as Prince Harry's memoir was released. The article goes on and on. They say that the King was said to have been genuinely thrilled that Prince Harry flew over for his coronation in May. And they said that the pair had held peace talks before Prince Harry confirmed his plans to attend the ceremony. And the, quote, positive conversations were interpreted at the time as a significant step towards reconciliation. But since then, there has been little movement. They talk about the Duke of Sussex making a subsequent visit to London in September. And because of their diaries and work commitments, the two were never able to meet up. They also talk about there being little improvement on their relationship as Prince Harry's 39th birthday came in September, and he did not hear from his father or his brother. And then in recent days, the Duke's office felt obliged to put out a formal correction after reports wrongly suggested that he had been invited to the King's birthday dinner at Clarence House. In fact, Prince Harry's office said that there had been, quote, no contact regarding an invitation to His Majesty's birthday celebration, which was largely for close friends, this article says. And he said that he was deeply disappointed about that misinformation. So, the article goes on, and they talk about Prince Harry's, quote, olive branch to King Charles on his birthday, and it marking a genuine turning point, offering an opportunity for both father and son to move forwards. So let me know your thoughts on this story. Well, I want to remind us all first and foremost, before some of you get in the comments, we know that Harry has talked about that invisible contract and, the briefing that goes back and forth between the palace and, these organizations. Firstly, the Daily Telegraph is not a tabloid. We need to take that in stride. They are a British daily broadsheet newspaper. And for these broadsheets, when they put out any kind of news, and they're not like tabloids, they don't just rush things to print most of the time. They will have more in-depth analysis. They will try and get some kind of confirmation, before it goes to print, because for them to print something and then for it to be refuted, it would chip away at the confidence of the public in them if the public start to doubt that the stories they're reading from them might not be true, right? So they're not like a tabloid. I want to just add that here quickly. We know that in the past, tabloids have had scoops. I'm not saying that they're 100% lies, because we have had the Daily Express, who is a tabloid. They even say it themselves. They are, they're a tabloid in the UK, right? And they printed a story to refute this article by the Telegraph. And they said that, quote, Prince Harry did not speak to King Charles to wish him a happy 75th birthday yesterday. And this was their exclusive. They used that term, which is quite interesting. They said that Prince Harry did not speak to his father, King Charles, to wish him a happy 75th birthday yesterday, despite the Duke briefing that he had planned to make the transatlantic call. The Daily Express understands. So we have this back and forth. Here is a whole tabloid saying that they have an exclusive. I think we've talked about the term exclusive in front of anyone's story, that it's something that's fact-checked, that they have some type of tangible way to verify what they're printing, and they have a scoop on it. They're the first on it as well. So that's a tabloid exclusive, as opposed to the broadsheet newspaper, the Telegraph, that has in fact said that there was a call. There seems to be all these details about Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet singing, to King Charles in a video, Meghan talking to him. They seem to have a lot of details. So it makes you wonder, because Harry and Meghan talked about the briefing. They did mention that, there is a briefing between palace sources and these newspapers who have that direct line to them. And it's not only tabloids they brief to broadsheets as well. And I looked through the Telegraph, and there are headlines on Harry and Meghan, and they're what you expect. They are stories that some of them are neutral. Some of the stories are not so favorable towards Harry and Meghan, always favoring the perspective of the royal family over Harry and Meghan. So for the Express to say that this was Harry briefing the Telegraph, it's interesting, because most of their articles are neutral to not favorable towards the Sussexes. And Harry and Meghan have a lot of other outlets that they could have reached out to, even in the US, right, to confirm the story. So I've waited a long time since this story came out to comment on it. I wanted to see if the Sussexes would put out an official confirmation or not. As of yet, no confirmation from, Harry or Meghan. But I would like to know your thoughts right now. Do you think that this call, in fact, did take place? And does it make you wonder how the Telegraph seems to have so many details on this call, knowing even the children were a part of it? Because that to me just validates all of that which Prince Harry said, that there is a direct line between the palace and these newspapers. And if they wanted to put out a good image for Charles, this works for him fantastically. All in all, this is fantastic PR for, King Charles on his 75th, showing that his family is still, they're still somewhat going strong, even if there have been issues. And just juxtapose that with all those other royal families in Europe, how they always have these family portraits out and it looks so grand. So many of you have been pointing that out. And then you compare that to what's happening in the UK. Where is his 75th birthday portrait? And we all know the Queen loved having her huge family around her. The Queen loved having that model family, in quotes, look to the royal family. And just think about how far they've come now, where they can't even have that portrait so quickly taken. Just think about this a few years ago. We were able to have this picture here with Harry, Meghan, William, Kate, Charles, Camilla, the grandkids there. But what about this year? So where is that model royal family? Where is that pinnacle of British family life, the British royals who everyone should look up to? So for me, this is fantastic PR for King Charles. Yes, it does work for Harry too, but we can imagine just a couple of days ago, Harry saying, no, he did not receive an invite. That did not look good for the palace. So For those people saying that this was Harry briefing, it just doesn't make sense. So we'll wait to see if there's confirmation, and I will cover that. So for some food for thought, those who are saying that it was Harry who briefed on this story, was he also briefing about the dinner at Clarence's house, or that King Charles would have felt a weight off his shoulders, in quotes, or he was, quote, delighted about his time with the children? The Telegraph in particular have had this interesting pattern of knowing how the royal family are feeling and responding to issues. I'm just going to put this headline right here for you to see. Right here, when the documentary about Harry and Meghan was premiering and was going on, they even knew about the attitude that the royal family would have towards it. They would have a, quote, keep calm and carry on attitude. So how do they know that? So something to ponder about. But now I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that Harry called? And let me know who you think this leak came from. Best guess is that this is just the typical what Harry said, the palace briefing about this to make King Charles look good. He doesn't have a family portrait for his 75th, his first year in that position as king, and this works great for him. So let's see what happens. And people can't have it both ways. Harry did say he did want to reconcile with his family. We always have to keep that in mind. And even those people who say that he should just cut them off, we know that that's not the truth, because even his own book Spare took us behind the curtain and showed us that while in the press they were talking about how Harry was out, that all the while they were still having meetings with, Prince Charles at that time and his brother William, and walking around in the gardens there and talking, and even, having words. They were still talking. So we don't know what happens behind the scenes. Let's wait for confirmation. After all, they are a family. They know what they do. All we can do is wish the best for them and pray for them. So share your thoughts on this in the comment section below. As always, before we log off, a very, very special thank you to all who support this channel financially, to all of my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters. Allow me here to shout out a couple of you by name. A very, very special thank you to you. Barbara F. Smith, thank you for your generosity and how you've been such a blessing towards my work here on YouTube. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. And a very special thank you to you, Lydia Washington. You have been such a support to this channel, and I'm so blessed to know you. Thank you for all the ways you engage, for the channel moderation in the chat, for your comments. Thank you. I love you. A special thank you to Magdalene Jano Baptiste, who's been one of the long-time supporters of this channel. Thank you for your comments. I love you so much. I truly feel your kindness. Thank you for choosing to come along with me on this YouTube journey. That means so much. God bless you. And now a very special thank you to those who gave through super thanks. Thank you to one of the channel supporters, Alma Andrews, who goes also by the handle Alma Andrews 8042. Thank you so much. You are so valued and kind. Thank you for your generous support. Always such a blessing, dear. May God bless you abundantly. I love you. Thank you. Once again, share all your thoughts on this news below. We'll have a poll running with this video, so don't forget to vote. And thank you to all who watched. If you liked this one, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. It truly does help out the channel. And follow on X for more informal posts. See you on there. If you want to watch more videos, click the links in the cards and at the end screen, and I will see you there. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.